Hey everybody, just want to pop in and say hello and show a couple of cassettes. I have a busy day. I'm trying to finalize this order for my next vinyl. Because of the time of year that I'm putting in the order, and also the fact that it's a much smaller company, I won't see the record till next year, but getting the label and all that sort of stuff together today, and figuring out Dropbox completely too. But I found some more cassettes. I was putting away some records in the closet and noticed, oh, there's these other boxes of cassettes I couldn't find. So I just thought I'd grab some of the cassettes to just show. And the first one I want to show is, I had mentioned an old friend of mine who I didn't mention by name, but his name is Alan Haynes, and he's just a wonderful person and musician. And we had the group Ernst together, but Al's very creative. We traded a lot of tapes over the years. His tapes are always something special. Here's an example of one where he recorded Magic Brother for me. If you see it spray painted with some kind of cutout design on that side, and then this side again, it's completely personalized, including the cassette. It's actually painted on there. I do love Al quite a bit. Do intend to get a hold of him pretty soon and try to calm the seas between us, whatever the remaining issues are. Here's another one that he made for me. Fred Frith, Shelley Hirsch, and Ikue Morrie live. And the cassette is a super heavy, I mean, it's really heavy. It's a heavy cassette, like some kind of metal case. And once again, personally, personally designed by him, decorated by him. Al is another deep thinking and deep listening person. But here's some cool stuff that I have. So cassettes, Can's Prehistoric Future, their very first session has been released on vinyl and CD a few times, but the very first time it came out publicly was on this cassette. Can Prehistoric Future. And this isn't the actual Toggle Moggle release. I forgot I had it. But yeah, this is this isn't the first public release of this music. I forget what year it came out, but that's a cassette I can show you. Portrait. This is one I kept. Vocal R&B group that I quite like. I haven't listened to this in a long time, but I kept it. Some other I have a lot of cassettes here that I've done myself. Like, look at this, Julian Cope to Grace Jones, and then I found a graphic for it. But here's a German, I believe this is a German or UK. No, made in Holland. Here's Peter Gabriel, his third album on cassette. It's a Charisma cassette, made in Holland. I knew I had a bunch more cassettes, I just couldn't find them. Here is the third album on a US cassette. And kind of beat. What else have I got here? Look at this. Red House Painters on cassette. 4AD cassette. all kinds of interesting stuff. A band that I did a show with back in the 70s or 80s, I forget, Human Head Transplant out of Colorado. Noisy Drone, Dark Industrial. This was quite a neat show. Stayed in touch with these guys for a long time. I forget their names now, but good stuff. Excuse me. Here's an audio cassette magazine series. Tellus, number 13, Power Electronics. The audio cassette magazine. Let's see who is on here. Merzbow, Wrist Chatham, Cyclones, Master-Slave Relationship, Maybe Mental, Controlled Bleeding. Yeah, so it's a real product. Power Electronics. Some bands that I know who put out cassettes. Atomic Breathing, Fundamental Inflection. Atomic Breathing also made one long-playing album, which I play bass on a couple of tracks. So, Atomic Breathing, look for this name if you're trying to collect my discography. You can find the Atomic Breathing album cheap. But here's another cassette by the band. Here's the band The Cretans, and I am not sure how I came across this, or if I know these guys, or if I played a show with them. This is out of Port Arthur, Texas. I must have played a show with these guys. Here's one on Gramavision, John Carter. Fields, John Carter on Gramavision. Keep it short. Let's see. A couple more. Here we have Blood on the Flag by Mussolini Head Kick. I used to really dig this stuff. Used to listen to this type of stuff a lot. Electronic body music, or whatever you would call it. Carolyn on the Carolyn label. And then a similar one, Frontline Assembly, State of Mind. Let's see, what label is this? Roar. Reach Out International Records. Just some of the cassettes. I found 3 boxes. I actually plan to. Oh, here's one more. Cool. I have Sakamotos Beauty on cassette. Ryuichi Sakamoto, my man. I'm glad I still have this. Awesome. But I found a box of 4-track cassette masters that I knew I hadn't lost. I just couldn't find. So that's the other part of the work that I want to do today, is to start going through those, because I have never transferred everything off of my 4-track masters onto CD or to a computer, and it's got to do with being selective. And over the years, your perspective changes on stuff, and so I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on these 4-track masters that I just passed over that probably is still crap, but now it's like, yeah, I definitely want to preserve it though, get it on my hard drives. So that's what I'm doing today, and keeping this video short. I want to thank you again, Jimster, for the wonderful music that I am still just slowly getting to. It's just the nature of how I work. Whatever is on my mind is what I do. But thank you so much for that music. Last thing I'll say is, thank goodness the election is over. Now let's see if anybody actually does anything.